Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the voice of Bernando's granddaughter, and we are together and ready to complete step three, or step 3 and 4, if you like, on how Bernando prepared greens. So, of course, I referred to his book Beyond It because in chapter 8, he talks about spinach, one of the green vegetables that he was very, very fond of. And I am sharing today the last step on a recipe he did for us, for me, at the last Thanksgiving dinner that he and I had together in Tempe, Arizona, way back in 2015. So in that case, he used collard greens, kale. He sent me to the store and I said, "What should I get?" And he said, "Get whatever greens you want." So I got a mixture since he had mentioned collard greens, since he had mentioned kale, and of course, spinach. So the ingredients that I've used so far for this is, of course, an onion and garlic. Now, I used the garlic paste. There's a recipe for that or some instructions on how to do that in this book, and I also posted a video on this channel on how to make the garlic paste. So, Fernando's thinking behind making this puree was that it would digest faster, hit your bloodstream in about 40 minutes, not sit there and lay around and rot in your colon. And this is just something that he enjoyed doing. So in our last video, uh, I had sauteed the green vegetables with the onions and the garlic. I have let them cool because you don't want to handle food when it's super hot. You can burn yourself really easily. You should let these things cool. And now I have placed them in the blender. Also, I'm using a plastic-based blender. My glass one gave up the ghost. So, of course, when you're using anything plastic, you want to make sure it's cool because you don't want to have a situation where things are melting. I did add a little pepper to this, and I will probably add just a tad bit of sea salt. You don't have to uh, do that, but if you want to, you can, just in moderation. But if you're going to use salt, use sea salt. So I've got a NutriBullet here, and I am just going to puree this for a little while until it's blended. I'm probably going to have to do it in 2 batches. So let me put down the camera. It's probably going to make a good amount of noise. Can I make this picture smaller? No, I cannot. Okay. Well, at any rate, here we go. Now I'm going to turn this off for a second. You see it's turning into a nice puree. I'm actually using the attachment on the NutriBullet that is what they call the super attachment, because there is a way to make kind of live soups this way, because this thing will heat up. I'm not heating this one up because I'm gonna heat it up when I pour it back in the pan. Also, I don't want to blend it so much that it's got absolutely no texture to it. But I'm just going down here with a spatula because I want to get the stuff that's up at the top down towards the blades a little bit better. And I think I am actually going to add the rest of the vegetable. Of course, you got to be mindful of the line. You don't want to overburden the machine. You don't want to tax the machine. But I think I'm okay here. All right, so now that I've got that in, I'm going to turn this on again. Gonna turn it off. The can see the machine's making a little bit of noise. Probably if I had a Cuisinart, or again, maybe a glass blender, maybe that might be a little bit easier. Actually, this is turning out okay, but you just want to make sure that you mix things again, give it a hand because it's vertical. It's not like a Cuisinart that's a little bit more squat and a little bit more flat. And I'm going to give it one last turn. And I'm going to turn it off. Okay. So now that I got that done, I've got a little bit left over in the pan. Getting a little frying pan out here. I'm going to move the camera back. What I found really fascinating about this preparation is that it almost looks like there's cream in it. There's a photo on Facebook and it looks like it's cream, but there's no dairy in this whatsoever. But it's got a wonderful cream-like consistency. Okay, so I can see here that the NutriBullet has actually made this a little bit more of a puree, because I guess the blade's a little bit stronger. So what I'm going to do, just for fun, is that I'm going to add the remainder of the onion and the greens, the collard greens. Sorry for the noise. Can you see that? Yeah. That were left over just to give it a little bit more texture. Puree is wonderful, but if you want it to have a little bit more texture, you can do it this way as well. My granddad had a little bit more texture to it, a little bit more chunk to it, but he was using a more old-fashioned glass blender. So at any rate, before you're going to serve it, right, you want to heat it up a little bit. So I've got this on a medium flame. I think I'm going to add that pinch of sea salt to it right now. Oops. Just a tad. In case you were wondering, the sea salt that I used earlier to actually wash the greens with, it washes right out. It doesn't stay on the greens. So that's my dog barking. He's a very good guard dog. Once he gets into it, he gets into it. So you just want to heat this up, be mindful. I'm actually using an awesome non-stick pan here. It's not a Teflon pan, it's one of those newer ceramic ones. And then I am going to get a little chafing dish here, just so I can test this out. Open a drawer here, and you see what I'm doing. That's what it looks like. All done. I'm going to try it. Pretty darn good. It's pretty darn good. Well, Grandpa, I hope you're proud of me. I'm not sure it tastes exactly like yours, Grandpa, but this is my attempt to pass on to you what I learned from Bernando Lapallo. This is the book, Beyond 100, How to Live Well into Your Second Century. There are some methods and techniques in here, how to make the health salad, how to make the garlic paste, how to make the superfood smoothie, how to make the cinnamon tea. At some point, I hope to put together a dedicated sort of recipe booklet for you. But in the meantime, I'm making these videos. So you all have a very blessed Thanksgiving. Uh, and remember to keep your liver and your colon clean. Oh, see, that heats up pretty quickly. It's only been on the flame for a few minutes. So I'm going to put this away on Thanksgiving for a few minutes. So I'm going to put this away on Thanksgiving Day. I'm going to enjoy this with some other preparations that I'm going to make. I hope that this was helpful to all of you. Happy Thanksgiving.